Hi everyone, my name is Carly Bell and I love to do machine embroidery tutorials. And one Friday out of every month, I love to go live on YouTube and supposed to be Facebook. But as soon as I hit the button on my computer just now, it told me Facebook is not working. So I apologize to all my Facebook friends. But I love to go live once a month to do a full embroidery project with you from start to finish, so you can see all the nitty-gritty details and things that happen when you do embroidery. And we call it sip and stitch. So I have my coffee and we have a really fun project that I've been wanting to do for a really long time that we're going to be working on today. And real quick, I want to tell everyone in the chat good morning. Hi, I see Norma's here, Joanna, Star, Dawn from Creative Appliques. Hi, thanks for joining us. A bunch of my friends I see in the chat, thank y'all so much for joining me today. Happy Friday. Can you believe May is next week? Like my head is still not reeling around that. So I can't believe that time has just been flying by. It's crazy how that always works in the year. It seems like January lasts forever and then boom, 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 then it's going to be summertime, which I'm not complaining about because I'm ready for summer. But good morning, everyone. So let's see, a couple things I want to tell you about the project today. Really fun applique shirt. So I'm gonna get into all the details about that. Some other things that are going on before we start the project, and I tell you all the details about everything. I want to just give some updates on other things I've been working on. One of them is a sew along. We started, I think, a couple weeks ago now. Finally started. I wanted to start this in January, but I made a new course and that took up all my time. So the new sew along, it's free for anyone to join. It's all recorded so you can catch up and participate whenever you have time. But what we're making is the Kimberbell Star Spangled Beauty quilt. And this is a ladder quilt. This is the first time I'm making a ladder quilt, so I'm excited about that. And we've made a few blocks so far. Y'all can see, like, oh, this one's really pretty. So what we do for the sew along classes is we usually make 2 blocks for each class, and you get to see it from start to finish. And the first class in the series is like an intro and prep class. So it goes over everything you need to know if you've not done a Kimberbell project like this before, and how I prep everything and all the supplies and optional kits and things you can get. Be prepared for sticker shock, because the first time I did a Kimberbell project, I was like, wait, how many things do I need to buy? So don't come watch if your pocketbook is tight right now. That's my warning for that. But it's a really fun sew along. We are getting together every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, with the exception of today because we had sip and stitch, at 10 o'clock in the morning Central Time. I'll go live and make 2 blocks, and you can get all the info on this sew along. There's a homepage for it on my website. I think I have it linked down below. Like, check out my sew alongs. You can go there and you'll see the Star Spangled Beauty. So I wanted to tell you about that. That's been going. It's been really fun. And the goal is to have it done by the end of May. And so that I can actually put it up in my house before 4th of July, because that's where I struggle getting things done before, like holiday projects, getting them done before the holiday. So y'all hold me accountable. Make me go live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, so I will get that done. So that's one fun thing that's going on right now. And another thing is I am participating in a summit. And it's my first time doing something that's officially called a summit. Like, I hear about those all the time, and I go to summits about all kinds of things. But this is the first embroidery summit. I want to say it's similar to the virtual applique getaway, but kind of different. So what the summit consists of is several embroidery educators that have recorded classes that are ready to go. And they have a list of all the presenters and the classes that they're going to teach. There is a link down below this video to register for it. So the good news is it's free. You can get a free ticket. There are limitations with the free ticket though, in that they give you like all day next Friday, I think May 1st, to watch the first set of classes. So they'll go live, I guess, early in the morning or something, and then they'll shut off where you can't watch them no more after midnight. And then all day Saturday, May 2nd, they'll have a new set of classes for you to watch. And same thing, you got 24 hours to watch them. Sunday is a special replay day where you'll get to see any of the classes in case you missed some on Friday. And then at the end of Sunday, that's it, no more. They do have an optional VIP ticket that you can get so that you can have lifetime access to all the classes and watch them whenever you want. And they have also all kind of goodies and stuff that can go with that. So it's called the Machine Embroidery Paradise Summit. And I'm teaching a class. My class will fall on day 2. And it is how to make a in the hoop bag tag. So I have it's kind of like a 2-part class. I have the first part is for our friends that really haven't made an in the hoop project before. So I kept it really simple and just made it on the machine, used a font on the machine to personalize it, all that. And then the second half of the class gets into the more, I say fun stuff, but I guess more advanced. So we use software to add a name. And then we added a piece of clear vinyl on the front and put the confetti in it to make it a shaker bag tag. So you can kind of see the confetti in there in that picture. So that is the class that I'm hosting. You get the free bag tag design download even with the free ticket. So you get lots of good stuff even with the free ticket. Dawn, who is with Creative Appliques, who is joining us today, and we're using her design today. She also has a class, and I think it's on how to make a in the hoop mug rug, but I don't remember if her class is on day 1 or day 2. That's the part I don't remember. So maybe Dawn can remind us. And I think her design is also a free download for attendees. So go check it out, get the free ticket, sign up for it. If you have time to watch the classes, watch them. If you don't, consider getting that VIP ticket so you can watch it later. Okay, Dawn's on day 2 of the summit as well. So we're both on Saturday. So you can come and check that out. It's going to be a lot of fun. Lisa Shaw is teaching a class in Embrilliance. I think her class is actually more specific to digitizing, but she has a free design to give. John Deere from Embroidery Legacy is also teaching some digitizing with his software. My friend Alexis Galloway, who's a brother educator, she's teaching 2 classes. And then there's more people I know, but that's what I can think of off the top of my head. It's a real great group of people, excellent group of educators. So y'all are going to like it a lot. So the link for the free ticket is down below this video. And I sent it out in my email newsletter too yesterday. If you get that, you can check your email. Okay. I think one more announcement. VIP. If you are in my monthly membership group, which is the Sip and Stitch Squad VIP membership, our April Zoom class, we get together once a month on Zoom to do a class together. It's really fun. It's really interactive. I love doing things on Zoom because then I can actually see people and hear their voices. But we are doing a really fun project on making a pillow. The end result for me is going to be a pillow, but there's so many things you could do with it. But it's going to be like a family. There's 2 options. There's going to be like a family design where you can put like the last name of the family and then like birthdays or important days. And I'll show you because I have it in my Embrilliance open so you can see. And then the other layout's going to be like a birth announcement. So their free design this month is going to be all kinds of little things to make this, but the class is really going to focus on how to put it all together in Embrilliance Essentials to get a layout that you like. And then of course we'll stitch it all out together. So if you are in the VIP membership, that is happening on Tuesday, April 28th at 10:30 a.m. Central Time. And I sent out an email yesterday with the Zoom link and the supply list and all that. So check your email. All right. Yay. Stacy's excited for the baby announcement. Okay, I think that's all my announcements. So sorry if that took a long time. But today, project, yay, so fun. As soon as Dawn posted a picture of this new applique font that she has, I immediately became obsessed. And I was like, oh my God, I love this. And I kind of already had a plan of doing an applique mama shirt for this month's Sip and Stitch. And then when I saw that applique font, I was like, that's what we need. So let me show you this, and let me show you closer. All right, so you can see it. Look how pretty this is, okay? It is a basic block applique font, but look at the lace stitch detail around each letter. Isn't that so pretty? It's so pretty. I love it. So this is what we are stitching out today. And great news. Oh, I need to make a little thingamabob. Let's see. Dawn gave us a coupon code. So I'm going to put it to where it goes on the bottom of the screen. And now I got to remember what the coupon code was. So the coupon code is going to be specific for this font. Okay. Let me write coupon. I can't spell. The coupon code is KBCA20 APR. Okay, I'm putting that at the bottom of the screen, I think. There. Oh no, it's not at the bottom of the screen. It is. Scroll across the bottom. Can we do that? No. Okay, that's the coupon code. So no, that ain't the coupon code. That's the that's something else. I didn't save it. Okay, let me try that again. I'm not the best with computers sometimes. Coupon code KBCAAPR. No, I forgot the 20 in there. 20. I should just copy and paste it from my website. Add banner. Now do we have it? There we go. Okay, so KB for Carly Bell, CA for Creative Appliques, 20% off in April, APR for April. Okay, so this coupon code is good for this font, and it expires next week, next Saturday, May 2nd, 2026 at midnight Eastern time. Okay, so you have a good week to go get this design from Dawn at a discount. So let me switch you over so that you can grab this more easily. So I'm going to show you my computer. This is my website here, Carly Bell, and you can always find the information on Sip and Stitch for this little logo here. So we can click this, and this is going to take you to what I call the Sip and Stitch homepage. Okay. At the top, it's giving our projected schedule. So you can see, like, I already knew I wanted to do an applique mama sweatshirt. Let me make this bigger. I already knew I wanted to do a sweatshirt for this class, and Dawn came out with this font at the perfect time. You can see next month, and then I don't do any for the summer because the kids are out of school and they don't let me work. But let's see, these are past Sip and Stitches, and then here's all the info on today's. And here we go. So supplies needed. When you click this, it should bring you to Dawn's website. Now, this font comes in two size sets, I should say. So this one is the small one. This is the one I'm using today. It goes from 2 inches all the way to 4 inches. And I forget which size I'm using, but I'll pull it up. It's one of the smaller ones because depending on the hoop size you're doing, and then if you're spelling out mama or you're spelling out something else, you just use what can fit in your hoop. So this is the small one. And then she also offers right here, also comes in medium, and these are a lot larger. They come in 5, 6, 7, and 8 inch. So if you just want to do like this picture here is cute. It's just a large one initial applique letter. That's super cute as well. And this would be super pretty with like a script name going across it on top. So it comes in 2 size options. I'm using the small for today's project, and you can use that coupon to get 20% off the small set or the medium set. Okay. And that's there. So do better than me and copy and paste it, because I always will type it in wrong. Also on here are links to all of the supplies that I'm using today. Now, I am going to be doing this on my big Brother 6-needle machine, my PR680W. However, I don't want you to feel like you have to have this machine to make this project. This project can technically, it can be made on any machine. Your limitations are your hoop size, okay? So if you have a 4x4 machine, you could, instead of trying to make a big thing, you could just do a 1-letter initial and do it like as a pocket design, like on my t-shirt here, like a upper left chest design, and just maybe do an M and then do with script on top, mama. I'll show you something like that in Embrilliance. If you have a 5x7 machine, like the largest hoop is 5x7 and it's a brother or baby lock, and you have that multi-positionable hoop, you can definitely use that 5x12 hoop and do a big shirt like what we're doing today. You know, same 6x10, you could do a big shirt. So if you have a flatbed machine, it can be done. It's a little bit more tedious getting your shirt hooped and everything out of the way so it doesn't get stitched together. But I have videos. If you look on my YouTube channel, I have other videos of me using smaller flatbed machines to make shirts like this. I think I made a LSU shirt a long time ago with that 5x12 multi-positionable hoop. It's kind of the same process. So I don't want you to look at what I'm doing today and be like, oh, I can't do that. I don't have that machine. You can do it. All right. And it's just all going to depend on the limits of your hoop size, on how many letters you can get in there and what size they can be. Okay. So the Sip and Stitch homepage is going to have links to everything that I'm using today. And one thing I forgot to put on there is because I'm using my big multi-needle machine, I love to use the Mighty hoops with it. These are magnetic hoops. They're amazing. I'm going to show you. If you're in the market for Mighty hoops, I have a coupon code. If you use Carly Bell, I think it's just my name, you'll get free shipping. So that'll save you a little bit of money directly from the Mighty Hoops website. Okay. If you ever have questions about that, just message me on Facebook or email me at hello@carlybell.com and I can help you. All right. So that is the homepage. And now let's kind of get more into the supplies and everything. So I am going to back up a lot, as far as my camera will let me. So you're going to see my junk on the side here. Okay. But the things I wanted to show you are, this is part of the Mighty hoop. That's the back piece. This is the front piece. I'm not putting them together yet, but this is what the magnetic hoops look like. You can also do this with your normal hoops that came with your machine. Or if you like to float, you can float as well. So do what hooping method you like. Okay. But what I'm using is these really cool, this is an 8x13 Mighty hoop. Even though it says 8x13, the space inside is really 8x12, which is the max of my 6-needle embroidery machine. So this is like the biggest hoop I can do with this machine. I used this to make this t-shirt. And I think my design is like 11 inches wide, and I'm trying to remember how tall it was. 3-inch. So I use the 3-inch font to make this. And we'll go into Embrilliance and I'll show you everything. So you're going to need your hoop of choice. And next is stabilizer. Typically for t-shirts, I like to do use a cutaway, but depending on the shirt, I like to use a poly mesh, which is a lightweight cutaway. And then based on the design you're stitching, if it's super dense, I might use 2 layers of this or 1. And then you can also use plain medium weight cutaway for this as well. I do that a lot on sweatshirts actually, and it might be what I do today. I don't know. But I would say the only thing that I wouldn't recommend is a tearaway. You can do a combination of a lightweight cutaway and a tearaway, but I wouldn't use tearaway alone. All right. So whatever you have in your craft room, if you have poly mesh, if you have medium weight cutaway, either one of those will work for you. Okay. Now let's talk about the actual fabric and appliquing. So when I did this, I wanted to do a test run and see how it went. And I just used a pretty fabric that I had in my craft room already. For today's shirt, I went and grabbed out of the attic one of the baby blankets from the hospital that Abigail or Elise came home in. Okay, those are my two daughters. So what I want to show you to take this project up a notch is you can go and get old onesies from when your kid was a baby, bibs, burp cloths, blankets. I even saw a little hat in my bag. I was like, oh, I could cut that as well. So it has to be something that you're willing, of course, to part with because you are going to be cutting into it. But you get this as a keepsake after to wear. So I have two of these blankets in my box that I had all my baby stuff that I saved in. So like I was like, okay, I'm okay with cutting this one. I have another one. So I will be cutting a part of this strip and using that to applique my name. And as with all appliques that I do on clothing, I'm going to interface the back of this with some heat and bond light. And that's going to help the back of the blanket really fuse with my shirt so that after I wash it, it won't pull up and pucker or anything. It will stay really nice after I wash it. So use whatever applique material you would like. It has a beautiful satin stitch around it. So all of the raw edges of the fabric will be hidden. So you can really use anything. And to ensure that everything is going to hold up well after several washings, I add heat and bond light to the back of the applique fabric. Okay. So I think that is all. I didn't use any water soluble topper on top of this. You can if you want to. It definitely doesn't hurt. But I do usually with t-shirts and satin stitch designs, but because it has this lace stitch that happens first, you don't have a problem of your edge of your satin stitch sinking into your shirt. I find that it holds up well. So I think that's everything I wanted to tell you about the hoop. Shirt of your choice. If you're going to do a t-shirt, Comfort Colors brand, I find is a really nice adult t-shirt, and it's like a heavier weight cotton, and they embroider well. I get mine at Hobby Lobby. They sell them. You can get them on Amazon as well, or if you have a shop that you know of that sells Comfort Color t-shirts. They come in a variety of colors, but I wouldn't say normal staple colors. I like all the, like, they got peach and a light purple and this tealy color. I like the colorful stuff. And then you can also stitch this on a sweatshirt. And I have a few sweatshirts here just from Walmart. And that's what I'm going to be stitching on today. The only thing is, like, I have a darker gray and the lighter gray. And I was holding up the blanket, and I think I like it better with the lighter gray. So I'm going to go with that one for today. Yeah. Okay. Throw that down. And next, let's go in Embrilliance and show you how to put everything together. Okay. So I saw some comments in the chat before we started and questions about zip files and downloading and all that stuff. So I can definitely help with that. If you have questions about Embrilliance, by all means, go ahead and type them in the chat. I don't know if I'll have time to get through all of them today, but I do want to put out there that I have a full course teaching you how to use everything that comes with Embrilliance Essentials, and all the tools and how to do everything with it. So if you are wanting to learn how to really get the most out of your software, highly recommend. And then I just released a second course that focuses on Embrilliance Enthusiast. And that course goes into detail on all of the functions and tools that come with Enthusiast. And I plan on opening up enrollment again for that in a few weeks. I'm thinking like the second week in May if I get all my things together. So keep that in mind as well. And you can, if you're on my email list where you get like my newsletter and stuff, I will be emailing y'all when enrollment opens again. All right. So let's talk about the font and zip files and getting them open and all that thing. Okay, so normally when you purchase a font and you download it, it will end up in your downloads folder. I've already moved mine out of there. I like to get my things out of the downloads folder, and I have a folder that's named Embroidery Designs. And when you open that folder, it's got a whole bunch of categories. I teach this, I have a little mini course called Embroidery Design Organizer, and I go over how my system for keeping track of all of my digital embroidery designs. So I have a fonts folder and I have a BX fonts folder. This is for all of my fonts that come in BX format. Okay, but I have more in there than that. Okay, so this is the one I want. Okay, so it's going to be named CA for Creative Applique, Block Lace SS Applique Small. So this is the small one. When you get it on your downloads folder, it's going to look like this one. It's going to be a white box with a zipper on it. On a Mac, all you need to do is double click this. Okay. If you're on a Windows, you click it so that it's highlighted, and there should be some button in your Windows that says extract all. And what will happen is it will create a new folder, and it probably will open that in a new window, and then you can access everything. So when I am on a Mac, I can just double click, and what happens is it extracts everything, and look, it made a new folder right here. And when you click inside of that folder, she has some important documents. We have pictures. We have the BX format, and then every other embroidery format that you may need. Okay, depending, and embroidery formats are based on the machine that you own. BX is specific to be used with Embrilliance, and it's a beautiful thing because you can install BX fonts within Embrilliance and then just use your keyboard to type out things that you want with that particular embroidery font. If you have fonts that only come in PES or VIP or EXP, the other formats, when you click on them, so you got folders for sizes, each letter or number is an individual embroidery design, and you have to merge all of those in and then space them and align them and everything. You don't have to worry about that with BX fonts. They just install in Embrilliance, and you have these files, and you can either double click them or you can drag and drop them into the program. I've already installed mine, so I didn't want to install it again. Okay, so that is what it's going to look like when you buy it, how to extract it, and then to install the BX ones, you should just be able to double click it or go to open with and make sure it's with Embrilliance, and that will install it for you. All right. Once you are in Embrilliance, you are going to first open up the hoop that you're going to be working with, because this is going to be important for you to visualize how big of a design you can make. Okay. So go to your preference window, hoops, pick your format of the machine you're using, and then you should have a list of hoops that you can pull up. All right, if you have a 5x7 hoop, click apply. Okay, so this is showing me the actual hoop size that I could work in. I'm working in 300 by 200, which is the same as 8 by 12. Apply. Okay, so this is my hoop size I'm working with. Once you get that opened up, then click your lettering tool, which is create a lettering design, the little A up here. And now an ABC will pop up, and this new window here on the side is going to pop up, and this is where you can now go to font, and there will be a drop down menu, and you go and find the font, which was named what? Lace? I think it was started with L. But there it is. Okay, so CA Lace Satin, and I guess I only installed the smaller one. So 2-inch, 2.5-inch, 3-inch, 4-inch. So since I stitched this out already, 3-inch is a size that works well for my shirt and my hoop. Once you select your font and the size you want it in, now you can go in the text box and type what you want it to say. And I typed mama, and I'm gonna hit enter. And that's it. Okay. So that is how you can create your lettering design with that particular font just using your keyboard. I didn't have to import each letter and space them and all that good stuff. So that's the beautiful thing about BX fonts. Now, if you plan on doing a different piece of fabric for each one of these letters, you can send this to your machine as is. Either go to File, Save as Stitch File, and save it on your USB stick. Or if you have a Brother or Baby Lock machine that has wireless, there's also an option to Wi-Fi if you go under Utility and go to Wi-Fi. Your computer and your machine have to be set up on the same wireless network in order for this to work. But that's if you're doing each letter with a different piece of applique. If you are doing like I am and using one piece of fabric to cover all of them, we can save some time and switching of colors and needles and all that stuff. So if I go to the stitch simulator, I can see it's first going to stitch the lace for M, then the tack down for M, then the satin for M. And then it's going to move on to A, the other M, and the other A. So you see how it goes. It finishes one letter completely. What I can do is instead of it switching between those 3 colors for each letter, I can tell it to stitch all of the lace first, then all of the tack down stitches, then all of the satin stitches. So that's what I wanted to show you. So in order to do this, all you need to do is go to Utility and Color Sort. Okay. And you should be able to, you shouldn't have to mess with anything here, but we can see that when I color sorted it, it reduced it by 9 colors. And to check it to see if it did what I wanted, I can click New View. So I still have my original one that's not sorted. This is the new view. And now I can look in the Objects panel and I can see, okay, there's all my lace. There's all my tack down stitches. The lace is going to serve also as a placement stitch showing you where to place your fabric. Now we lay our fabric down, tack it down, trim it, and our final satin stitch. So now I changed it from being, let's see, how many changes was it here? 12 stops, 12 times, to now only 3 steps. So that's an option for you. And then this is what I'm going to stitch today, but I was playing around with it before class started, and there's some other fun things you can do. And using in the properties menu under style, they have some options of shaping your font, and I chose the bridge up one. And then I used another font. This is also from Creative Appliques. It's called Girly Goose. And I wrote my girl's name under it. And I thought this was super cute too. However, because this is their baby blanket, I would want to test stitch and make sure curving this font didn't mess anything up when it actually stitches out. It should not, but because this is a precious piece of fabric, I mean, I got a lot of blankets, so I could cut it up more if I need it. But I feel like I want to test this before I stitch it with my blanket. But I think it's super cute. And if you wanted to add your kids' names, another option is you could add your kids' names on the sleeve of the sweatshirt as well. So that's something else you can do. And I have a tutorial on that from, I think, a couple years ago we did for Sip and Stitch. So you can go and check that out. I did it on a flatbed machine, and like one option was like pulling everything away, and then the other option was using a seam ripper and like opening up the seam of the sleeve to make it a lot easier. But that's an option for you as well. Can I do the arch one more time? Yes, Stacy. So click your lettering design. In the properties panel for your lettering, look at style. It will be listed as normal first, right? And you can go and play with all of these different options. So like there's, what is that? Oval, bridge top, bridge bottom. Which one did I like? I think I liked bridge up. Yeah, that was the one I was playing with. So all of that's in style, and you can click them all and see how you like them. And play with that. And then you can merge other things with it if you want to, just by clicking that lettering design again and adding more. Another thing I wanted to put out there is this doesn't have to be say mama. You can make it say whatever you want. If you want to give this to your mom with her grandkids stuff on it, you can make it say Nana, or like my mom's Mimi, or we have Nani, or we have Momo. Like you can make it say whatever you want. Just keep in mind the more letters, that's going to limit you on how tall they can essentially be, because the more letters it's going to take up, then you're going to start getting outside of how wide your hoop is going to allow you to go. So just keep that in mind. But you can make it say whatever you want. And like I wanted to show too real quick, if you have a small hoop and you could only, let's see how this looks in a 4x4 hoop. 100. Lots of scrolling. Okay, so let's see if I can do a 3-inch and then just do an M. You can do that, and you can either like move it up and then write something at the bottom, or you can keep it in the center and do that small, what was I using? Girly Goose, that was cute. I don't know if this would look good, but you can play around with it. Something like that, to where it's stitched it on top. Or like I said, you could move that to the top, and then mama, I'm just using the arrows on my keyboard so everything stays center. And you can put that underneath. So have fun with it, with whatever you want to do. I think it would look better if the script name went really like across it. So it'd be better with something with more letters. This is also great for names. I could put a K and then put Carly across it if I wanted to. So there's so many fun things that you can do with this. All right. Did I miss any questions? The only one I caught Stacy's when she, oh, Gigi, that's a good one. Let me know if I missed any questions in the chat. The best thing is probably just to type them again for me, please. Okay. So, oh, I love this. Trisha's asking Shay, when do you anticipate on getting your avenir, ma'am? We all are intrigued to know when. I hope you get one soon. I hope brother sends you one. That's what you need, girl. Shay is a great crafter and educator. She has a YouTube channel called Crafting on a Dime with Shay. There she is there. So y'all go check her out and subscribe, and everyone go tell brother that they need to send her an avenir, because she would teach all kinds of good things with it. Okay, let's now, something else I wanted to tell you. So another thing that I always do with these kinds of designs that's super helpful with placement, after you make your design in your hoop, the size you want it, all the things, you're ready to stitch it out, go to File and Print, and you are going to be able to print this out. Okay. Now, because mine is so wide, it is putting 3 of the letters here and 1 here, and that's how I actually printed it, and I cut it and taped it together. I'm going to show you, but I'm wondering if I could have told it to rotate the page. I don't know how to do that though. And then it maybe would have stitched on one page. Reverse page orientation. No, that don't do it. Okay, well maybe you know your printer better than me. But I printed it out just like this. And that. When you print it out, there was like a dash line here by the A and a dash line here by the M. And I cut and I taped it together. So this is a representation, you know, it's perfect, of my actual design. So I can use this as a placement guide. And it has little crosshairs in the center here and on the sides and the top and bottom. So it's really great with helping you figure out right where you want to put something. Okay. So print it out, tape it together, do whatever you have to do so that you have it where it looks just like the design you want to stitch. Okay. All right, so I can't coca. I'm sorry. I could see Appalachian. I'm going to say that. When I save it to the USB stick and bring it up on my brother, it says the pattern cannot be used. Okay, so here are some things that you can check. Let me take this off so you can see. Oh, we also need to take off this little thing at the bottom. Turn that off. Okay, so go back to your design on your computer and look right here and right here. These are, it gives you important information. This one is telling you what size hoop you have open on your software. I have, it says 11 and 13/16 by 7 7/8. That's my 8 by 12 hoop, essentially. That's the actual real measurements of it. We always round up. Right here tells you the actual dimensions of your finished design. Sometimes when people are working in Embrilliance, maybe they thought they had the 5 by 7 hoop open and they made their design, but actually they had a 6 by 10 hoop open, or in this case, 8 by 12. And so when they tried to send it to their machine's telling them, I can't open this, it's way too big. So that would be the first thing I would go and check. The other thing is the format you save it in. When you go to File, Save Stitch File As, it's going to ask you where you want to save it, and it's going to ask you what format do you want to save it in. Make sure you save it in the format that matches your machine, okay? Tell me if that solves your problem. Okay, let's see. Oh, don't cry, Shay. We love you. All right, so Gopher's mom asks, what machine am I using? Today I'm using my Brother 6 needle. Okay, something just happened. The computer screen went away, but thank God it didn't stop the tutorial. All right, I'm using my Brother 6 needle for today. But like I said at the beginning, you can do this on any machine. You just have to work within the constraints of your hoop, your maximum hoop size. Yes, make sure you save it as a PES file if it's a Brother or a Baby Lock machine. If it's a different brand machine, I don't know all of them off the top of my head, but I'm sure our friends here in the chat could tell you what format, because everyone has different machines. Okie dokie, let's get things ready. So let's actually start stitching something. Okay. Oh, Jenny's so sweet. All right. So the first thing, let's see, I think I'm going to pick this up and put it on the floor. I have very limited space in here. Put that on the floor. Okay, let's get our sweatshirt and lay it out. Okay, take the tag off of it. I'm notorious for doing my clothes and stuff and then never taking the tag off. Don't know why. I'm going to turn my iron on. Yeah, okay, because we're going to add some heat and bond light to the back of this. Okay, so make sure this is all nice. Sweatshirts are usually pretty easy. If you're doing, for like my t-shirt, I ironed my t-shirt before I started just to make sure everything was nice and smooth. Sweatshirt, not as much a problem with. And you're going to grab your template, your printout, and then like maybe some rulers. Let's see, I don't know if this ruler is big enough. I like to have one that will go, like what I'll do is I'll put my ruler in like the crease of the arm, the bottom of the arm here. So like I know it's straight across and I have a bigger ruler. They also make these cool rulers that go and fit around the collar of a design. And I used to have some, like, they're like free printables. Where are they? I want to say I had them in here, but no, maybe not. I don't remember where I put them. But some people will have just like free printables where you can print it out and it like fits around your collar and it shows you like how far down to put your design. My go-to method is I do 3 finger widths. So I'll put this at the bottom of the collar and this here, and that's where I want, how far I want my design. You can play around with this. Another thing I'll do is I'll pin this to my shirt and then I'll go put my shirt on and I'll make sure it really falls where I want it to, because, you know, women, we have these things protruding from our chest and you don't always want those things to go directly across them. So everyone's built differently, but my go-to is the three fingers. So let's see in actual inches. That is a smidge less than 3 inches. No, actually, that's like 2 inches. Yeah, 2.5 inches down. So this is also going to be based on the size of the shirt. This is actually a kid's extra large, which for me, this is like a women's small. The bigger the shirt, you may want to move it down a little bit more. It also depends on where the collar falls. So those are all kinds of things you're going to want to play with based on your personal preferences. But like I said, this is my go-to. But once I get it how far down I want it to be centered. Some things you can do is fold this sweatshirt. Like I did this with this shirt. I'll fold it in half like this, and I pressed it to make a crease so I could see the center. But I don't always have the best luck with that. I find it's still off. So the next thing I do is I put my ruler from armpit to armpit. So that's 20 inches. So my center is 10. And I will line that up. So now I got it how far down I want. I have it in the center. And I will pin this to the shirt because this is staying here until I'm ready to actually stitch. All hooped and on the machine and everything ready to go. If you are using fusible polymesh stabilizer on the inside of your shirt, iron on your stabilizer before you do this, because then it becomes a pain in the butt because you have this pinned stabilizer trying to iron to the back. So if you're using a fusible, get that ironed onto the back of your shirt before you do this step. I'm using that hooping station to add my stabilizer so I don't have to worry. I don't think I need to do any more, but there we go. one more for good luck. Okay, so that's where I want it. And then, like I said, when it's something from me, come on, mouse, where are we at? Here. When it's something from me, then I'll go and like hold it up. Okay, does that look good? Is that gonna fall right? You know, it's gonna fall about right here on me, and just make sure I like it. And I can even go actually throw it on over my t-shirt and really make sure it falls where I want. This is, now I'm saying all these things, but this definitely gets complicated when you're making this for someone else. There are some like industry standards, and that's when those templates that can fit around the collar would probably become in more handy for you, because they can be based on the size shirt that you are doing, the type of collar it has, and how far the design should be down. So you may be interested in those if you are making these for other people, different sizes, or end up selling them, because that's I think it's a great thing that people would want. All right, once I have this pinned in where I want, I'm going to put it on the side and get my hooping station back. And let's see, this is like, if I put it like this, you can see kind of the whole thing. So the hooping station is this back bit. This is the hoop. This is the specific, I don't even know what the real name of them is called, but they help hold the hoop and the stabilizer. They have these magnetic pieces so that you can put your stabilizer. Okay. This particular piece is specific for my 12 by 13 hoop. Mighty Hoops has a package deal, and that's what I got. It came with this hooping station. I'm gonna call them brackets for the 13 by 8 hoop, the 13 by 8 hoop, and it came with a 5 by 5 hoop. That is this one. So this, it says 5 by 5. I treat it like it's a 4 by 4. I haven't tested to see what the actual max embroidery field inside of it is. But I treat it like it's a 4 by 4. And it came with a special piece that plugs in here that holds this guy, and you can put it wherever you want, and is great for doing upper left or right chest logos. And it's great because you have a piece that holds this right here, and you can keep sliding on shirts, hooping it, slide on a new shirt, hoop it, and it's always going to get hooped in the same exact spot. So it really helps with streamlining hooping, especially if you run a small business and you're constantly hooping polo shirts for business logos. So this is the whole package that I got. The only piece I'm not showing you is the piece that holds this, because it's hiding in the closet right now and I can't get to it. So all of this I get directly from Mighty Hoop. And I don't have a discount code to get like money off of the actual things, but they did give me a discount code to get free shipping. And that is my name, Carly Bell. All right. So I'm going to turn this now to where I can use it, but you can't see the whole thing when I do that. All right. Before I started, I slid my shirt on here to kind of, and played with it to kind of get a feel of where I need to position these two things so that my design falls within the hoop. Because at first I had this more down here, and when I slid my shirt on, my design was falling here, and I was like, oh, that ain't gonna work. So this is adjustable. These pieces have little screws on the back. This has like, let me not lose my place. We're plugged in where 12 is. Okay. You see the pegs? They have little metal screw pieces pointing out the back of this, and they fit right into the peg. And so you can slide this up and down to go wherever you want it to go. Okay. Once you get these brackets in place, you're gonna, I guess step number one would be put the back of your hoop in. And there's a side that says warning. That goes towards the thing, the hoop holder, whatever this is called, hooping station. And you see the little tab goes at the bottom and it fits in here nicely. And so you push that in there and then this should push. So everything should be nice and tight. And if it's not, you play with the little screws on the back of this to pull that down so that everything's tight. That's your back of your hoop. Now is when you add your stabilizer. This is where this thing comes in super handy, because normally to put a piece of stabilizer on the inside of a sweatshirt and then it ends up getting all moved around. So this holds it in place. So I'm going to use some cutaway, because that's typically what I use on sweatshirts. Again, you can use poly mesh, 2 layers of poly mesh. You can hoop sticky tearaway and use fusible poly mesh on the inside of your shirt and float it. So many options and combos that you can do. But I'm going to do this. Okay, so you put that down. This is going to hold your stabilizer. And this is one of the things I love about the hooping stations. They also make these little plastic things that help hold stabilizer on the back of these, but I don't have one for this hoop. I have them for the smaller hoops. Okay, now we're going to take the sweatshirt and we're going to feed it in the top here. So open it up and wrap it around. And you kind of don't have to worry about getting it just right, because we have our placement. So for me, this gives me a lot of peace of mind and making sure that it's going to stitch right where I want it to. The one thing you're going to really want to do here is make sure that the design is, you can feel with your fingers like where the hoop is. You want to make sure your design is not too close to the hoop where your needle's going to hit the hoop on accident. So make sure that everything fits in nicely. And I have it where I want. And I can center my design once I get on my machine in case it's not perfectly centered. But the whole hooping station bit really helps. Okay. If you wanted to use water soluble topper, you can also lay that across right now before you do your magnetic hoop, and it will hold your topper in real good. Okay. On my hoops, depending on your machine, with a marker, I drew some arrows, and these arrows tell me that this is the top of the hoop, because it is easy to get this turned around. Okay. So for me, the warning label is at the bottom. So that's something that you can use to judge as well. But I draw little arrows on it to make sure I'm sliding it on my machine the correct way, and I know the top from the bottom. So that's it. I just did that, and now it is hooped and ready. And when I pull it away, what's going to happen is, like, this guy's going to move up. And now I have to get it off of here, because remember, the back of the shirt is underneath this bit of plastic. And this is hooped and ready to go. Okay. This makes life so much easier. If you have a machine that accepts Mighty Hoops, it's only for free arm and multi-needle machines. It's a beautiful thing. I love it so much. So that's it. We're hooped and ready to go to the machine. Okay, so let's talk about the machine. And then I typically, because of the hooping station, it's just so much easier to hoop it right side up. And the neck hole is large enough to go into the free Now's the sound. Now that the program was muted, I can. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, it's using my microphone now. No, it's using the computer. Oh my goodness gracious. No sound again. Yes? Oh my goodness, guys. Okay. I don't know what's happening, but I think it's time for a new microphone. It has batteries. I just changed them for the sew along the other day. But like the transmitter bit is just turning off for no reason. And it's plugged in to the electrical outlet. So this is going to make it a little difficult because now I'm using my microphone on my computer, which is great when I'm standing in front of my computer. But when I'm standing in front of my machine, you're probably not going to be able to hear me as well. Okay, so thank you, Trish, telling me we missed everything from when you started talking about the neck fitting into the hooping station. Oh Lord, back up to before putting the shirt on the machine. Okay, tell me if you got the hooping station. Let me know. I'll re-hoop the shirt if we need to. Okay, good. On the machine. All right. Let me go unplug this microphone box on the back of here real quick and see if I could fix it because it's going to be hard for y'all to hear me. Okay, unplug, undo all the things. Okay. Now, okay, tell me if you can hear me on my microphone now. Okay, let's keep an eye on it. Norma, call me if it goes out again. Okay, yay. Hopefully this works. Because it's the whole reason why I have this microphone is so y'all could hear me when I'm walking around my room. Okay, let's start over from the beginning, putting the design on the machine. Okay, because I am working with a large adult shirt, it has it's not a large adult shirt, but it has a large neck hole. So I can feed it in the machine on the free arm through the neck hole, no problem. If you're working with children's shirts or things that are smaller, you may need to hoop your design upside down so that it can feed through the bottom of the shirt. And then you have a lot more space to move around. So it's all going to depend on the item that you're embroidering. Adult stuff's usually not a problem whatsoever. I told y'all I have those arrows in marker on my things, so that really reminds me which way the hoop is supposed to go, which is helpful when I'm hooping so that I hoop it the way I want to. If you missed it, I oiled the machine before. Every time I turn it on, I oil it. So you take the bobbin out, making sure I don't have no comments saying no sound again. I'm going to keep looking. You take the bobbin out. There is a button on the bottom of your screen that looks like 2 needles and a hoop and some arrows. When you click that, this brings you to your machine screen that tells you about your 6 needles in this case and what colors on what needle. You can program your machine to tell it what color you have on what needle. I change the colors on my machine almost every time I stitch a project. So for me, it's not that useful. There's another way that once I got my design loaded and everything ready to go and I could tell the machine to say, okay, stitch step 1 with needle 6, which is white. Stitch step 2 with this needle, which is silver, whatever the case may be. I like that method personally better. But on this screen, there's an oil button. When you press that, it rotates the hook that is in the bobbin case. It's a little metal piece. It rotates it so you can see the hook. There's a little picture on your little door here for the free arm showing you right where to put your oil. And I use a little oil dropper and drop a drop of oil on there. And then I put my bottom back and I hit OK. but pressing that oil button rotates that hook for you so that it's accessible. So always oil the machine when I first turn it on. Now I can load the shirt, doing it through the neck hole. And the hoop can only go, it can go on the other way, but the right way on mine is there's a closed circle hole on the right and like an open space on the left. So that's knowing I have it right. I'll open up the shirt and look down here, make sure it hooped right, and there's no fabric in between the shirt and the free arm, so nothing gets stitched together. You don't have to babysit your machine like a flatbed when you're doing it because all the extra material is hanging at the bottom. Okay, does that sound good? We got everyone up to date. Sorry again for the lack of sound. I keep watching things. Okie dokie. So now I'm gonna now we're gonna pull up the design that we made in Embrilliance, and I already have it on here since I stitched it before, so I'm just gonna go pull up the same design again. I think there it is. Okay, so Mama Applique, click it, and then it pops up here. It tells me the dimensions. It even shows up here, they have little pictures of hoops, and the hoop size that this will not fit in gets shaded like gray, and it'll only show the hoop sizes it can fit in white. So it knows this is the largest hoop. However, my machine does not know that I have a mighty hoop on here. So this is going to be super important whenever you're stitching anything with hoops that did not come with your machine. You need to do what's called a trace. And this is going to be where your needle will move around right where the design is going to fall. And you're going to double check at no point will your presser foot and needle hit the frame of your hoop. Okay, so I'm clicking that, clicking set. If this is like, if you hooped it upside down, you need to rotate it. This is kind of where you can do that. We can also add stops. So let me remember how to do that. Okay, because this is an applique design and we're working on a multi-needle machine, I have to tell my machine, normally it would like stitch the lace, stitch the tack down, stitch the satin, and go. It doesn't know it's an applique. I have to tell it it is. And I do that by what we call programming stops in. And so it tells the machine, hey, when you're done stitching this step, don't automatically move to the next needle. Pause for a minute until I hit start again. That's going to give me time to lay my applique fabric down and to trim my applique fabric when I need to. And that step, so I'm going to hit end edit, and if you can see, I think it's this button here. It looks like a dark spool of thread, a light spool of thread, and a page. This pulls up my 3 steps, and let's see, maybe I have a light shining here. Maybe that's not helpful. Oops. Can you see better? There's a little hand, like stop hand right here. And then this is a, I think a no cut one. I don't mess with this one. I just mess with the stop one. Okay. So the first step is the lace. The second step is the tack down. So I wanted to stop after the lace. I want it, but I think this is where I always mess up, because when I was stitching this one, to be safe, I'm going to add stops at each one. But I think the first one doesn't need it. Let me do that. Okay. The first step is the lace. The second step is the tack down. I need it to stop before it starts this step. The last step is the satin stitch. I need it to stop before it starts this stitch. So I put stops on step 2 and step 3. And the stop should apply before that stitch starts. Does that make sense? So I've programmed that in. So I'm going to hit OK. Now I'm going to hit embroidery. And so it's ready to stitch now. No, I'm missing something. Let's go back. We need to move it and trace it. Okay, so still back on this screen where I added the stops in. Now, okay, it's on needle 1, and I have these crosshairs. Let's see. I think I could turn my light off and it makes it better for y'all to see. I think y'all can see better now. Okay. All right. My laser crosshair is here. My crosshair on my printout is much further up. So there are arrows on my screen here that I can use to move the design so that it stitches out right where I want. And okay, and now I can make sure that that laser crosshair falls right where my paper printout is. Okay, once I have that, now I know it's going to stitch right in the center. I will do the trace feature. And so that's a little dash square. And you can even hold down the presser foot of your first needle where it's tracing from and really make sure it's not going to bump into your hoop at any point. So that's me double checking my design fits. It's not going to hit my hoop. I have it placed right where I want it. And then I got my stops programmed. Okay, that's all the prep work that I think I need to do. Once all that is done, now I can remove my pins. And this would be the part where if you wanted to add water soluble topper, you would. You wouldn't add it if your printout was on top. That was silly to think because I said that earlier. Ooh, dropped the pin. So if you wanted to add topper, this is where you could lay it out on top now. I don't think I need it. I usually do it with satin stitching, but I think the lace is what makes it to where I don't necessarily need it. Okay, now I'm on the regular screen. This is your normal embroidery screen. Oh, lights. Where is that light? The reflection. Okay, if I stand here, block the reflection. There is, so I'm hitting embroidery. This is my normal embroidery screen. And there is a button that looks like a spool of thread with a magnifying glass. That button lets me tell the machine which needle to use for which step. So right now it's stitching the lace and needle 1, and I don't even have a spool of thread on that one. Tack down stitch doesn't matter. You can do that in any color. And it has my satin stitch in gold, which is needle number 3. So I need to change all that. So press the magnifying glass button. I could say stitch needle number 1. This is now when I need to choose, do I want the lace to be pink and the outline to be white? Or do I want the lace to be white and the outline to be pink? Did y'all vote? Or did that happened when I had no sound? I asked y'all that. Okay. Is my sound still okay? Everything good? Yes, Norma is Visionary Creations on YouTube. It's probably because my Facebook is not working. It didn't stream to Facebook like it was supposed to. Stops confuse me. I need practice. Same here, Lisa. Same here. I get to a point to where I'm like, I'm just going to add a stop after each one because for this design, I programmed the stop for the first 2 steps. And you know what happened? It started stitching the third step. And I hadn't trimmed my applique yet. So that's what I learned because I don't use this machine every single day. And so it gets to a point to where I'm like trying to remember, do the stops happen before or do the stops happen after? And then when I get to where I'm not sure, I just add all the stops, which defeats the whole purpose of having a multi-needle machine. So don't be like me. Okay. All right. So this is the question for y'all. This is my applique. Do I want the outline of the letters to be in white and the lace to be in pink? Or do I want the outline of the letters to be in pink and the lace to be in white? I think the white is going to show up on this light gray sweatshirt. You can see the sweatshirt is a light gray. I think the white will still show up more, but the pink would probably pop more when it comes to the lace. So that's the direction I'm leaning. Yeah, Norma says I am multi-needle challenge. But I'm great on my Stellaire. Same here. The Stellaire is my go-to machine. But when I'm doing clothing, I love the free arm machines, whether it be my 6 needle or my single needle. Okay. All right, I'm gonna go with the pink for the lace and the white for the outline. So step number 1 is the lace. That needs to be pink. That is needle number 5. So I'm going to pick 5. The tack down stitch can be any color. It's set as silver. I'm going to let it be silver. Needle number 2. Okay, the last step is the satin outline. That's going to be white. That's needle number 6. So now I hit OK. So now I've told it everything. It knows where to stitch. It knows when to stop. We traced it. It knows which needles to do for what steps. We are finally ready to stitch something. So we are going to hit lock and stitch. And it's going to move to needle number 5, which is pink. And it's going to start doing the lace. And this is going to take a few minutes. This whole design takes a while. So while this is stitching, now we're going to go prep our blanket. Okay. I did so much talking before we started. I totally forgot how long this design takes to stitch out. There we go. This is a long class. All right. So what I'm doing now is prepping my fabric to be used as an applique. Yeah, Linda says the sound dampener is great on the machine. No, the microphone is great when I'm stitching on the machine. That's one of the reasons why I was like, no, I really, really need my microphone to work. Because it helps so much with dampen the sound, so y'all just hear my voice and not all the loud machine in the background. Okay, prepping the fabric. I'm using my baby blanket. So something that you can do to figure out exactly how much fabric you need is you can use your, why is it blurry? You can use your printout to figure out exactly how much you need. So for me, I can use this, and I'm basically going to cut it a little bit bigger. And I'm just going to cut right along this line. Oh, wait, something fell. Okay. I'm going to cut right along this line here. Okay, so it just finished stitching the M. Now it's moving to the A. So with this particular baby blanket that came from the hospital, I would have enough to stitch like myself and all 3 of the grandmas a shirt if I wanted to. So I have way more than enough than I would need. So there's my piece. Okay. Now we want to interface it with the heat and bond light. So I got my iron turned on. and heat and bond light. Let me see, I got some scrap pieces. This is a low adhesive interfacing. Basically, it's almost like double-sided tape for your fabric. What's going to happen is where one side is paper and smooth, the other side is bumpy, and that's the adhesive side. So what you're going to do is cut a piece to fit your fabric. And I kind of cut it so that it's slightly smaller than my fabric because I don't want it coming out the side and getting on my iron on accident. Okay. So cut your piece to fit. And if you want to press this before because it had a crease in it, you can do that. All right. And then you're going to lay your heat and bond light. This has some tape on it, but that's no big deal because this paper bit's going to get peeled off. So you want the bumpy adhesive side face down on the back side of your fabric. And then you are going to iron or press that in place. And you can press it on this side, and if you feel the need, you can also turn it around and press it on the other. Okay. Once this is pressed, let it kind of cool off for a second. And then you can peel up the paper, the one side that's paper, and it will peel off. And you see this shiny bit that's on there now? That's the other side of the adhesive. So like I said, it's serving almost like double stick tape, except you need your iron to activate it. Okay. This is low tack, so this is not going to gum up your needle. I use this on all of my appliques for clothing or anything that's going to get washed. Okay. And so now what we're going to do is when this lace bit is done stitching, we are going to lay this right on top so that it covers up our name. So it's doing, the lace is kind of like the outline of the letters. It serves also as a placement stitch. So we're just going to let that do its thing. And I am going to check the chat and see what I missed. Oh, Bella boxes. People got their Bella boxes. Yay, Joanna. I'm going to say I was a good girl, but I am still disappointed. I did not get the Bella box. For some reason, so at first I was like, you know what? I'm going to skip it. And then I go on my Kimberbell account, and I don't know what I did. But when I did skip the last Bella box, which was in October, I also canceled my subscription, which I did not even realize I did. So I definitely didn't get the Bella box because I accidentally canceled my subscription. But they have the cutest stuff. For anyone's not familiar, Kimberbell makes a twice-a-year subscription box. And inside the box has everything you need to make 5 projects. The only thing it doesn't include is thread and stabilizer, but it has like everything else. If it's a blank, if it's specialty fabric, if it's embellishments, if it's something cute to frame it in after, all the things. And it's such a nice thing to have. And I have a large collection of them. So that's when I was like, you know what? I need to stop. But everything is so super cute. All right, so Dawn is saying, when I tried this, I used different pieces of my granddaughter's sleepers because we didn't have any piece of clothing that was big enough by itself. Right, that's another great solution, Dawn, is so like I was saying back when we were setting things up, you can use a different piece of fabric for each letter. So if you're in that situation where you don't have a lot to work with and you can't cut a big long piece to go across the whole thing, you can use different. I've seen them where people will do the same fabric for the M's and then a different fabric for the A's. So it kind of alternates, goes back and forth. But yeah, it's definitely, you can do any combination. The one thing I would suggest is that if you are doing different fabrics, I would not color sort it like I did in Embrilliance before I sent it to the machine, because you're going to want to stitch one letter at a time because you have different pieces of applique. The color sort feature is really only helpful if you're doing one big piece of the same fabric. Does that make sense? Yeah, I think individual pieces would be so cute too. Oh, this is a great idea, Norma. So if she made someone a baby quilt and she had some leftover fabric from that baby quilt, she can use that same fabric to make the mama sweatshirt. I love that. Okay, so this is almost done stitching. And when we get to the point where we're just waiting for the satin stitch, we're all going to go look at the Bella box together. So everyone can see how cute it is. All right, so y'all are seeing the machine. Okay, I programmed to stop. The machine stopped like it's supposed to. All right, and I think it already even changed needles. So it's on needle number 2 now. I am laying down my applique fabric with the heat and bond sight down. You know, that's the back of the fabric. And you want to make sure it covers up your letters, okay? Because this is stripes, I also want to make sure that my stripes are going straight across. So I really want to make sure I'm laying this down right. And if for any reason I am worried about this shifting, I can use some paper tape or even pins if I make sure it's in an area where my needle's not going to hit, and pin this in place so that it doesn't shift. But now I got to knock on wood, but I usually have good luck with just placing my applique fabric down, and it doesn't shift. I can also stand by with a stiletto to make sure, but everything looks good now. Lock and stitch. And this is going to just do a simple outline of the letters and tacking down our applique fabric. Had a little jump right there, but that's okay. Kind of looped and jumped right here. That's okay since this is just a tack down stitch. All right, it looks pretty straight because like I could see the bottom of the letters all falling right on this pink line, pretty much. Oh, something else where it's going to be fun to do is there are holes in the A, and cutting out holes out of an applique can be scary, I'm going to say, because there's always the fear that you might cut a hole through your shirt and not just the applique fabric. So I'm going to show you what I do. And for me, it's more like the more you do it, the better you get. And I kind of can feel it. Okay, now it's stitching the little hole for the A. And now, because I programmed the stop, the machine should stop after this step. There we go. And I am going to take it off now. And we have to trim our letters. It's a little hard to see here, but we have to trim them. And we're also going to activate our heat and bond light before we do our final satin stitch. And that's when having a little mini iron comes in very handy, because we're going to iron in the hoop. So I'm going to zoom in here so you can see. But we have, I should have did a darker color so y'all could see better. Whatever you stitch this color in does not matter. It's going to get covered up. So if you want to stitch it in black so you could see really good, you can do that. And you are going to want to cut this applique fabric as close to your stitch line as you can. And what's going to happen is it's all going to get covered up in satin stitching. Use your favorite applique scissors. Mine are the tweezer-like ones. These are from Kimberbell. But Havel's is another company that makes them that I really like. And you just, what I end up doing is I keep like turning my hoop to get in a position that's comfortable for cutting. These scissors are super pointy at the end, so I also have to watch that I don't accidentally pierce and poke through my sweatshirt and cut in there on accident. But the fact that they're pointy is super helpful for when I'm going to need to cut out the middle of that A. And then if you absolutely despise cutting out applique, that is when you should look into getting a scanning cut. You can pre-cut these letters and just lay them right on top, and not have to use your scissors or cut out little holes in A's. I know, isn't the lace so pretty? I told y'all, like, as soon as I saw Dawn post this, I was like, oh my God, I need this in my life. It's so pretty. All right, I'm just going to focus on the letter outlines first, and then I'm going to go back and get those holes in the A. Y'all don't let me forget, because I am that person that will forget and put the hoop back on the machine. Okay, my stomach is telling me it's lunchtime. Hey, it is. It's 12:07 here. Okay, so I got good news and I got bad news. There is only one more step for this design. The bad news is it's going to take 20 minutes to stitch because it's all satin and it's big. And even though my machine stitches at 1,000 stitches or 1,050 stitches per minute, it still takes forever to do satin stitching. So y'all start thinking of some questions now or things that we could talk about. I know we're going to go shopping on Kimberbell's website. That's my first idea. And look at the Bella box. And I'm sure it's still available. So we'll also need to practice restraint so that I don't re-sign up for it. Okay. That is done trimming. So how well can y'all see? Look at that lace. Isn't that pretty? Okay. Now, you see the holes in the A? We got to cut those out. So what I do is I use my pokey scissors here, and I feel. For me, it's like I can feel. I want to make sure everything's flat. Okay. And I will poke a hole, and then I will pull up at the same time. And I'll kind of pierce it, and I'll make a little hole, and I can see my sweatshirt underneath it. Hopefully that's my sweatshirt and not this stabilizer, or in my case, the wool mat that is under. And then once I feel confident, oh, in this case, you're going to see your lace stitching because that's going to be poke out there too. That's going to help. Then I will start trimming the inside little bit of the A. All right, so you can see the lace is in there too, but I think most of it I think is going to end up being covered up with the satin. Okay, now we're going to do it for this one too. Just kind of poke a hole and lift up, and I see my pretty pink stitches underneath. And sometimes there are projects that I can, before I lay my fabric down, oops, things are falling. It's before I lay my fabric down, I could like snip a little hole where the hole should be, especially if it's a big circle like a O. I can sometimes go and snip holes. But for something so small like this, I can't pre-snip a hole to have a starting point to cut. So really the only thing that can help you with this, I would assume, is the scan and cut, just to pre-cut the whole letter to begin with. Okay, but that is our letters. And now I'm feeling really good about doing the lace in pink. And we're going to do the overall outline in white. Oh, this is so funny. Linda's like, I have a master's in poking holes. I know. I feel like I have gotten much better. Okay, did I miss anything else? Ooh, I like this. Norma has a great idea. I use glitter HTV for my letters, and then it's easy to tear away. And then with this, you can just leave the glitter HTV on here. Don't even trim it. Do your satin stitching, and pull away the glitter HTV after the satin's done, and you can even get it out if there's even a spot left, because the satin is going to cover a lot of this up. But yeah, it's easy to tear away after you do the satin stitches. Okay, so we are done. And we are going to carefully put, oh no, we're not done. Not done. I'm already forgetting things. See, I told y'all how I am. All right, we put heat and bond light on the back of these pieces of applique. Turn my iron back on. And I suggest that you iron these and activate that heat and bond light before your final stitch. You can do it after, but I find it works best before. So if you forget, it's not the end of the world. But if you remember, like I did right when I was putting my hoop back on the machine. Oh, yes, I went to iron it. So you just have to be careful of what fabric you're using. This is all 100% cotton, so it should be fine on the iron. If you're using anything synthetic, then you may want a pressing cloth. Same thing when you're adding the heat and bond light on the back of it. Use a pressing cloth. And so I'm just making sure that's all done. And now I'm going to go back to my machine and stitch the last step. Okay, so the fabric I'm using for this applique is actually from the baby blanket. that I brought one of my girls home from the hospital in. So that is just a keepsake idea that you can do. If you want to use either a baby blanket or a baby onesie, something from when the child was little, and use that to applique, or you can use any fabric you like. Totally up to you. Okay, when you're putting this back on your machine, you do want to make sure everything goes back on the way it's supposed to and nothing is getting in the way of the free arm. So we are done. It's now going to switch to needle 6, which is my white thread, and it's going to do the satin stitching, which is going to take approximately 20 minutes. That got turned. Now to see that good now. But it's just doing a zigzag. It's going to do all the underlay first and do a zigzag all around. And then the satin. So lots of turns and stuff. So the machine is going to slow down when it's going around the corners of the letters. So that's something else that is making it take so long to stitch out. Okay, so that was not Melinda. I don't know. I'm looking at who X the comment. I can't read today, so I'm having trouble saying it. Melidan. Sorry if I'm saying it wrong. But yeah, that's where the fabric is from. All right, bye, Trish. Okay. All right, Dawn says, when I first started doing embroidery, everyone said, use heat and bond. And I did for some reason. I did, but for some reason, I didn't realize at all that I needed to iron it. Yep, ironing is important. And that's how you couldn't figure out why it didn't look very good. That's funny. That sounds like something I would do too. All right, so who wants to go shopping with me? Let's go play while this is stitching. For our friends that are not going down the Kimberbell black hole, let me apologize now. They take all of my money, so if they take yours too, they do it to everybody. But they make all kind of fun. This is what we're looking at. Embroidery projects. A lot of them are, I would say, focused around quilting, but then they have lots of fun in the hoop projects. Look at these tile scenes. I really want these, but I'm also, again, trying to control myself from buying everything. Oh, this is adorable. This would be so cute for my nephew. Okay, we might need that too. This is their latest quilt. And this is the kind of stuff that I've been doing for my sew-alongs. So let's click. Here we go. Cottage Garden Bella Box. Subscribe today. So these are all of the projects for you get 5 projects. So in your Bella box, you will get this bag. And it will be awesome because it probably will not be sewn together here and here so that you can lie it flat on your embroidery machine to stitch it. It's also going to come with everything you need to make this pillow, including probably the pillow insert. And it's going to come with the frame that this tile scene is in. And then I think these are like mason jar toppers. And then these are like some freestanding lace butterflies. Let's look. Let's show us a little closer. Oh, that is so stinking cute. I love it. I love the 3D effect of it. So you got some flat butterflies and then you have some freestanding lace 3D elements. Love that. There's the bag. The bag is super cute. I have a bag already from Kimberbell that I still haven't stitched from their like farmer's market themed Bella box from back in the day. Look at that tile scene there too. That's so cute. I love this. Okay, this makes me want to buy it. Just this alone. Look how cute that is. Oh, Restraint. We need restraint. These are adorable. Oh, look how puffy the center is. I wonder how they do that. If they use puffy foam right there. That's really cool. And then these are the mason jar toppers. This is something I wouldn't use, but it's cute. So those are all the projects that come with the Bella box. Let's see. Nope, that wasn't it. So, there we go. So apparently we can still buy it. It's $115. You do have to pay shipping. I want to say shipping is like $15, so you end up spending $130. It's a lot, but it's pretty. And then it will also come with that's 6 projects. So 1, 2, 3, 4. They count in 2 butterflies. 6. And then 5 bonus designs. And then this is what the actual box comes with. And you see it comes with everything you need. And they usually have some cute like notions and stuff as well. But I love this tile scene. I really kind of want that. Okay, let's go back to the machine real quick. You can see it's done stitching the M in Mama. The first M is done with the satin stitching. So now let's just go into the rest. Okay, so yeah, so penguins and pins, I feel yeah, I'm the same way. She has at least 6 Bella boxes and too many me time. Got overwhelmed and canceled for a bit to get caught up. I am in the same position. All right, Tracy says, yes, puffy foam is being used for the center of the butterflies. I love that. They always come out with something innovative with Kimberbell, like something I had not seen or tried before, which I love. Linda says the fabrics are great and they really enhance the design. Okay, and then Penguins and Pins is finishing up on May home sewn and have sipping on sunshine on the cutting table, along with a few other 100 projects. Yes, I feel you on that. We had company over last weekend, and some people hadn't been to the house in a while, and we renovated, and so I knew they were going to want to come upstairs and like look at things. And I had a whole foldable cutting table in the middle of my craft room, covered with all the things that I'm like scrambling to like find things, put things away so I can fold the table down and put it up. It gets so off. There are things shoved in places probably now that I need to go find. Okay, so Stacy ordered home sewn, but haven't touched it yet. I kind of want to order it just to have it too, but here we go. Great question, Brenda. Did I finish my tree skirt? No, I did not. Guys, this is the lesson we're going to learn about me. Everyone, including me, is going to learn. If I don't come on here and stitch it with you live and tell you, hey, I'm going to be live at this time, it's not going to get done. This is what I've grown to learn about myself. Because I got like so many things going on, and with the kids and with the house and just life in general, and then like all the back end stuff of my small business, that the only times I'm really getting to stitch things is when I go live. So that's why we need the sew alongs, because I will not finish these projects unless I do them with y'all. All right, let's see. Yay, Roberta's working on Star Spangled Beauty. So that's the current sew along that we are doing. Yes, I love this. Projects are a sign of a well-rounded life. Nice. Okay, let's go look real quick because I want to show our friends that are newer to Kimberbell where you want to look first. And if you go under Create and Shop, Deal of the Week, this is where I've gotten a ton of my Kimberbell kits and quilts at a decent price. Now this week they don't have any of their featured quilts or which are called bench pillows, which is another fun thing they make. But they have a bunch of other cute in the hoop projects, and these are all on sale. So this is a good place to check. They change it every Monday, depending on what time zone you're in. But they change it every Monday, and they have new deals. But I've gotten a lot of things on here at a good discount. So that's someplace you want to go and look. And then let me show you. You go to blog, embroidery, sew along on my website. These are all the previous sew alongs that I've done, except I didn't finish this one. This one's still screaming at me saying, hey, finish me. But these 3 are complete. And this is the one we're working on now. And when you click on the home page, it gives you all the info, the video class schedule. It has all the video replays here, so you can go rewatch them when you're ready. And then links to all the supplies. So everything is on there for you. Then red colors as well. So, and all the way at the bottom, I have a free organizational chart that you can download. And this really helps keep you knowing what to do for each block, just like having a cheat sheet to look at. So go download that if you're interested in participating in the sew along. All right. So Linda's saying, I'm hope to have the things ready for the sew along for those very reasons. So you're the same as me. Like, we need to do it together or I'm not doing it. So yeah, I'm glad you're working on that, Linda. Let's see. Penguins and Pins says, I watched their craft night for the first time last night. Great ideas, repurposing past design. Ooh, I've not watched one of those before. So I think on Kimberbell's YouTube channel or Facebook page, they do craft nights where you can go watch for that. I hadn't watched it before, so now I'm going to go check one out next time. Thanks for letting us know about that. Wait, that's not what I wanted to show you. There you go. We're stitching. We're on the second M. More than halfway done. Checking everything. I had a good amount of bobbin thread on there when I oiled my hook and everything. I'm hoping I don't run out of bobbin though while I'm stitching this. Okay, where else do we need to go shopping on the computer together? Let me know. Oh, speaking of shopping, Amazon package is coming. I think it's just notified me that it is on the way. So it's not delivered yet. I ordered some pillow covers for our VIP. Oh, let me show you that. That's something I can show you. Okay, so I told y'all my VIP membership, our project. Let me show you the inspiration. Maybe here. The inspiration are some pillows. Let's see. Let me find it. Here we go. So I've seen these kinds of pillows before, but most of the time they're printed. They're not embroidered. So like these kind of pillows. And then this is a baby one. So this is what I had envisioned. Like, this is my inspiration. And so what I'm doing for my VIP group is I digitized several things. So these are going to be different lines that they can use as borders. So like you see, there's a line here. We have lines, you know, however you want to situate it. And we're going to go over different ways that we can do that. And then I digitized some other things like some hearts, some baby feet, little houses, and paw prints. And this is what I put together. Oops. For what I'm thinking for us. So like this has the family name, birthdays, the day we got married, and then the girls' birthdays. So something like that. But it doesn't look like normal birthdays like in the I like this look of with the dots in between. To me, it reminds me of like longitude and latitude, that it looks something more like that. Now they do also have designs where you can do longitude and latitude of like location. So say you have family in different areas of the world or the country, you can put that instead of like where they're located. So lots of cute ideas, but this is what we're going to be working on for the VIP class on Tuesday. I love you, Stacey. She goes, dang, you're young. Girl, I do not feel it. I do not feel it. I am turning 43. Not next week, but the week after. Cinco de Mayo is my birthday. So yeah, 43. Yeah, so that's what I got so far. And then the other fun thing we're going to do in this VIP class is now most pillow covers, like mine is coming in the mail today, but I got like 17-inch, I think. I don't have a 17-inch hoop that's going to fill that whole pillow. So after like we teach how to set it up in Embrilliance and format it and have it looking all the way that you want, we're going to go over how to do multiple hoopings to get it looked finished like it was all done in one hooping. And there's like a couple different methods that you can do with that. And it doesn't matter what hoop you have. We can set it up so that each, break up the overall design into smaller hoopings. So it's probably going to be a long class unless I find some fonts that are more like sketch stitch versus satin stitch. Because as y'all can see, the satin stitching is taking a while, but it's going to be a lot of fun. I think it's going to be a lot of talk about Embrilliance, both essentials and enthusiasts, and then a lot of playing around with multi-hooping, and even if you don't have a multi-positionable hoop. So, yay. Norma says she's going to her 60-year high school class reunion. Y'all are trying to make me feel young, huh? Oh, Linda too. She says, you're so young. That's awesome, though, Norma. I haven't had a high school reunion. I think they quit at 10 or 15 and nobody's gotten together again. Yay. Stacey says her and her husband have been married for 31 years on the 6th, so the day after my birthday. That's awesome. So yes, if you're okay. I'll shut up now. All right. Deborah, what font are you asking about? The one on the sweatshirt or the one in my design here? Let me know. I guess in this, Deborah means the sweatshirt. So the sweatshirt is, that is the design we're working on. Let me see if we can do this. All right. So if you go, there's a link right below this video that takes you to the Sip and Stitch homepage. This is on my website. This is going to give you all the info on today's project right here, Applique Mama sweatshirt. And here is a direct link to the font. And right below it, we have a coupon code. So this is going to get you 20% off of this font. And this font comes in two sizes. It comes in a small set, which is 2 to 4 inches, and then a larger or medium set that is 5 to 8 inches. And it comes with all the capital letters and numbers. And I think it comes with So it comes with that ampersand and symbol and a dash as well. So you can have a lot of fun with putting this together. Oh, and I wanted to show you on Dawn's website, she also, which I think is adorable, she has a Greek version. So these are the Greek letters. So if you have a daughter or son or know someone in college that is in any Greek organizations, this is super cute to make them things with as well. So yeah, I wanted to point that out as well. They do have a Greek alphabet version. But yeah, if you, I think below this video, we should have a link to the font directly, and the coupon code should be listed below the video as well. And the coupon works on both fonts, yeah. Joanna says she likes how I listed me before Chris. I did that because I felt like it needed to be in chronological order because I'm a few months older than Chris. But yes, I'm the boss, number one. I like that better. Okay, we're done. Finally. Oh, this is so cute. I'm so glad I went with the colors that I did. I really, really, really like it. Okay. So let's back up. All right, so we are all done stitching, and you can see the satin stitching covering up all the edges of my blanket, the beautiful lace design going all around it. It peeks through even on the center of the A's. So it came out so nice. I love it so much. So let me zoom out. And now it's just finishing up. So whatever hoop you're using, you're gonna make sure everything looks good, because if something did go wrong, you do not want to unhoop it. That's when I'm like, usually I can save things. If something didn't stitch right, I could go back and stitch over it. Whatever the case may be. Just don't unhoop it, because you can usually save it. But everything looks good. So unhooping. And it's a little harder for the magnetic ones. What I do is they have this tab here. I'll pull this tab with my thumb and then hold this, and then I can get it apart. And then when you're storing these, so like this is the top, what I will do is do this. There's a way, I think it's this way or it's this way. The magnets are like not super attracted to each other. If like the two wrong sides, they're still attracted, but it's not as strong of a force as it is when I put this in the bottom and it touches this side. So that is how I store them. You can also get like a piece of cardboard or something and put in between the two, so that they're not actually touching, to keep the magnets happy. But I hang these on side of my machine. On the stand for my machine, there's some little hooks that come out the side, and I do that. Okay, everything looks beautiful on the front. My machine cuts jump stitches, so I don't have to worry about trimming any jumps. There's no tails, there's nothing. So on the inside of the shirt, so we have all this stabilizer, and warn you now, because I've done this. When you're trimming your stabilizer, I usually just trim like a little bubble around it. And depending on what stabilizer you used, I used Cutaway. If you're using the fusible poly mesh, you are going to have to like pull it. It will still pull away even though you ironed it down, and then you can iron it back when you're done. But pull it away from the shirt. Watch that you don't accidentally cut your shirt when you're trimming your stabilizer. Like I said, I have done it before. So I'm always feeling and pulling and making sure that I don't accidentally cut my stuff. Now, since this is mine, and for most adult things, I'm usually, once I trim the stabilizer, I leave everything else alone. And this will soften up when you wash it. And I don't worry about putting any interfacing on the back. I don't worry about trimming any of the tails. I just kind of leave everything alone. If I had a combo stabilizer of tearaway and cutaway, I will tear away all the tear away pretty much, even inside the letters if it's easy to do. But on children's shirts, usually they don't like the feeling of this rubbing against their skin. So there is some soft interfacing that you can iron on top of this that's like soft on one side, adhesive on the other, and will protect the kid's skin and they won't feel that. So if you as an adult like that as well, by all means, you can do that. But yay, it's so cute. It came out so cute. Love it. Love it. And I think it would even be cuter if you arched it a little bit, add some names, even without the arch. If you want to add names underneath, you could add initials or little names to the sleeves. And I have a video on that from a couple years ago. If you go search in my Sip and Stitch or on my website, where you can, the easiest way I think is to open up the seam here, and then you can float this on something and lay it nice and flat and stitch on it. Because even on a free arm machine, this is not a lot of room for your arm to go in. So it is still a little hard to stitch. But sleeve embroidery is super cute on this as well. All right, guys, it took forever, but that is all for today. Let's see. Not too bad. 2 hours. That's not my worst. But yay, I'm so glad y'all like it. We did, oh, I love, this is a good idea. Dawn said we did EST for establish with her granddaughter's birth year. That is cute. Now you got me wanting to do that underneath it. I could rehoop it and stitch that. But yes, that's a great idea. Love that. So yeah, that's all for today, guys. So I hope you learned something, whether it be about applique or software or playing on your machine, hooping, all the things. But I love applique and I absolutely love this font. It's so cute. And if I had a bigger hoop, I would like it even if the letters were a little bit bigger. But my placement guide of my 3 fingers below my collar, that usually works for me pretty good, so that this is going to fall right here on me. But like I said, if you're worried about those kinds of things, sometimes those little guides that you can buy that like fit with the collar and based on the size of the shirt show you right where to place your design might be helpful for you if you're ever worried about it. But I just usually play around with things and I pin them and try them on. But like I said, that only works when you're making something for yourself. So yes, thank you so much to Dawn from Creative Appliques for the adorable font and the discount code. So thank you. We appreciate you. If you want to see more from Dawn, she gives great YouTube tutorials as well on her channel. Her website is filled with the cutest designs and fonts, tons of embroidery fonts on there that I loved, come in BX format that you can install on your Embrilliance Essentials software and just type out. And she's also teaching at that Machine Embroidery Paradise Summit next weekend that I told you all about. So go to Dawn's website, use the coupon code, get your lace applique font, and look around at everything else she has. Sign up for the free ticket for the summit, and come check us out next weekend for our classes that we're teaching and our free designs that we're giving away. And that's it. So I hope you enjoyed today's class. I will be back next month. I have a plan. I haven't stitched it all out yet, but I have a vision in my head that this can work a couple different ways. But my plan is I'm going to make a design and have it as a free download for everyone that watches Sip and Stitch to go and download for free. But it's going to be an In the Hoop project. And my first vision is that it's a bow holder for little girl bows, but it's going to be versatile to where it can be a door hanger. And for our friends that like to go to Disney World, it can be like a little stroller hanger with like your family's name on it so that you don't lose your stroller. So lots of things I think it's going to work with, but it's all in my head right now. I got to get it in my software and stitched out so y'all can see. But that's going to be the plan for May. And let me look at my calendar. It's going to be, I think, the day my kids get out of school, which is Friday, May 22nd. So what is that? The last Friday in May? Yeah, the last Friday. No, not the last Friday, the fourth Friday in May, because they got 5. So Friday, May 22nd, 2026, I will be live again showing you how to stitch in the hoop bow holder / door hanger / stroller label, one of those things, whatever you want it to be. And I'll have it as a free download for you guys. And then we'll go in the software and embellish it and personalize it with whatever you want. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And then we're going to take off for the summer for sip and stitch. And then I'll be back when the kids go back to school in August. But if you'd like more tutorials from me, that's when you might want to consider coming to join the VIP membership group. I will still have summer classes for my VIP members once a month, and it's a Zoom class, so it's a lot more interactive. And then if you can't attend the live Zoom classes, you get access to all the replays. So this membership, we've had it now, it's on its 5th birthday, and that's very exciting. And members get access to all of our past classes. So as soon as you join, you have like 60 tutorials to choose from to look at. And you have 60 embroidery designs to go look at, because you get a free embroidery design every month. And there's everything from beginners to more advanced. And we even have classes on how to digitize using Stitch Artists in there as well. So that is the Sip and Stitch Squad VIP membership. You can get more information on that in the description box below this video. There should be a link. Or if you visit my website, I want to say it's somewhere up top here. If you scroll, you'll see it. That's my Embrilliance course, if you want to learn more about Embrilliance. That's my beginner embroidery course. Here, Sip and Stitch Squad VIP members group. So you can click on this and it will tell you more about it, and you can sign up. And okay, I think that's all for today. Thank you so much for joining me and sticking around. Appreciate each and every one of y'all. And make sure you hit subscribe so that you know the next time that I go live, you'll get notified and can come and join us. So we got the sew along going on every Monday, Wednesday, Friday right now, and then Sip and Stitch next month. All right. Thank you, Joanna. Oh, yay. And Joanna, I love Joanna. You're my person, girl. She's like, remember, you're releasing. So I did make a whole new course specific for Embrilliance enthusiasts. The name of it is Embroidery Enthusiast. I know I could have done better with name selection. But I am going to be opening up enrollment for that course again in May. So join my email newsletter list, and then you'll be the first to know. All right. Thanks, everyone. Y'all have a great rest of your Friday. Bye, guys.